we go. Yes, so growth mindset. People who adopt a growth mindset see challenges and obstacles as opportunities for growth, and this can help increase their resilience and motivation, leading to higher achievement. Dr. Dweck's research demonstrated that individuals with a growth mindset tend to believe that their abilities can be developed through hard work and dedication, while those with a fixed mindset tend to believe that their abilities are largely innate and unchangeable. Furthermore, people who adopt a growth mindset tend to be more successful in various areas of life, such as academics, sports, and business. This is because the growth mindset fosters a love of learning, a willingness to take on challenges, and a resilience in the face of setbacks. In contrast, individuals with a fixed mindset tend to believe that their intelligence, talents, and personality are predetermined and cannot be developed through effort or practice. As a result, they often avoid challenges, fearing that failure will expose their inherent limitations. Cultivating a growth mindset can help individuals embrace challenges in several ways. Emphasizing the process over the outcome, individuals with a growth mindset tend to focus on the process of learning and improving rather than the end result. This means they are more likely to see challenges as an opportunity to learn and grow rather than a threat to their self-worth. Encouraging persistence. People with a growth mindset tend to be more persistent in the face of challenges because they believe that their efforts can lead to improvement. This persistence can help them overcome obstacles and achieve their goals. Promoting a love of learning. A growth mindset fosters a love of learning, which can help individuals stay engaged and motivated even when faced with difficult challenges. When individuals enjoy the learning process, they are more likely to embrace challenges as opportunities to develop their skills and knowledge. Viewing failure as a learning opportunity. Individuals with a growth mindset view failure as a natural part of the learning process. They see mistakes and failures as opportunities to learn and improve rather than as evidence of their limitations. So some of the best tips for using a growth mindset to take on challenges include focus on what you can do and how you can improve instead of what you can't do. See challenges as opportunities to test yourself and your skills and expand your knowledge. Accept failure, develop resilience, and learn from your mistakes. Ask for feedback and learn from constructive criticism. Associate with others who share a growth mindset. Studies have shown that a growth mindset can improve performance and creativity. A 2019 study found that managers who were trained in the growth mindset demonstrated greater creativity and innovation, while a study in 2013 found that candidates for jobs who showed a growth mindset were more likely to be hired over their peers. People with a growth mindset are often more open and flexible, which can also lead to better communication and more positive relationships with others. Adopting a growth mindset can lead to numerous benefits in both personal and professional life. By embracing challenges, persisting through obstacles, and seeing failures as opportunities for growth, individuals with a growth mindset can achieve greater success and fulfillment. With dedication and effort, anyone can cultivate a growth mindset and unlock their full potential. So that was our Yola blog on the growth mindset. And mindset is one of Yola's power of three. So that's skill set, tool set, and mindset. So often in school, for example, you'll be taught all the skills you need to do a task. You'll be taught the tools you need to do the task. But if you're not taught how to develop the right mindset to want to do the task and to do it well, to persist when you fail, then it's difficult to keep going with it once you don't have the motivation of school and exam. So Yola tries to develop mindset through everything that we do, as well as the skills and tools. So a lot of that is encouraging sharing. A lot of the time through Yola workshops, which we've been running, we'll start off with something where we ask people to share something about them. It could be a fun fact about themselves. It could be just a challenge that they've experienced during the week. We don't want lots of personal stories, but it does encourage a sort of feeling in the group of being open and ready to learn, and it helps foster a sort of relationship between everyone, helps improve that, helps them get ready to try new things and open themselves up to that. So that's what we try to do through Yola. Mindset, we find, is the most important part of learning and innovation. If you can't really innovate if you've got a fixed mindset, because, well, a fixed mindset is inherently fixed and you can't improve on that. So that is our business topic of the week. I think soon we'll be joined by our guest, who is our digital marketing apprentice, Bailey. I think this is his first time on the radio and he's a little bit nervous. But I think he'll be joining us in a few minutes. So that will be exciting. Um, he's got an exam later today, so I'll ask him about that. Here he is. Bailey, are you there? Hello?
Hello. Yeah. Okay. I think can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, good.
Great. So welcome, Bailey. Firstly, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been working here, what you do?
Well, my name's Bailey, obviously, and I've been working at SME for about, I don't know, since it's February last year, but that was sort of more work experience than working here full time. I think I started working here full time, was it July sometime, I think?
Yeah, I think it
And
was.
that's when I sort of went more into the digital marketing, and that's what I'm doing for my test later on as a digital marketing test. And yeah, I don't know, like it's the first time on, so I'm a bit nervous. I don't really know what to say. Uh,
Why don't you tell us what digital marketing is? What have you learned so far in your apprenticeship?
well, we're not that far along yet. There's been about two lessons we've had, and so far we're learning more about the analytics with it and how using analytics and looking at them to see if the post that you're doing is effective and it's getting through to people and getting engagement, which is the key part of digital marketing, is getting engagement and people to know who you are.
So analytics is the amount of people who like a post or view a post or visit your website. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like it's just people that see it or click on it or anything like that, just to have anything to do with the post, really.
So I know you said you've only been doing this a few months, but have you learned any useful tips for our listeners?
Um, it's pictures. Pictures always do the best. Um, if it's just a bland bit of like content with no picture or anything, no one's really going to be that interested because say you um advertising a residential like what I do for TVBH, people don't care about just text. They want to see what they're getting into, what the venue looks like, what they're going to be doing basically. And pictures captures that best instead of text because no one can be bothered to read a giant paragraph. They just want to see what it is.
Great. So what has been, you think, your favorite thing you've learned so far on your apprenticeship?
um just the creative side, sort of making the posts, and it's fun making them because you're thinking, oh, what would I look at, what would I do about this, and like would I sign up to it? And it's sort of it's really interesting to see how certain things, like just a subtle change or like a subtle way someone to put a picture or a piece of text can make some like make it have lots of engagement and just change it completely. It's really interesting.
And thinking about the things that you're going to be learning over the next year or so, what are you most looking forward to about that?
It's probably just the making graphics and in creating blogs and everything like that, and using the data from them, such as like the likes or anything, to improve on the work. So it's getting better engagement, better views, and everything like that. Which is in the end goal is to have the most exposure that you can. And I think that when improving the work in looking at the analytics and making it better, it just makes it 10 times better. And that's the most interesting part about it is how it works and how people like the psychology behind it and how certain words can make people click on certain things.
That's really interesting. Have you noticed any of that in the work that you've been doing?
Uh, I've I've started to I've started to implement some of the stuff I've been learning, and it's getting a lot more views and certainly a lot more clicks than what I used to get, which is good because that's what everyone wants. They want exposure, they want to be seen by other people, and they want obviously they want business.
So
what have you seen any, I don't know, obviously not our marketing campaigns, but any that you've been inspired by? Have you seen anything? Are there any adverts that you particularly like? Any big brands that you think do a really good campaign? Anything that you've seen and been inspired to buy after an advert online?
I wouldn't say inspired, but there's certainly some adverts that, because no one really likes adverts, obviously. Like no one wants to sit and watch adverts, but if they're interesting, like it's good, because if it's an interesting advert, you'll sit and watch. Like the other day, I sat and watched, I don't know, it was something about a Microsoft thing, and they were talking about it and everything. And no one wants to sit through an advert, but I sat through the whole thing just because it was actually interesting. And that's the most crucial part, is having it interesting and not irritating. So I certainly always take that into account when I'm making posts or making anything like that. Is just, is do I find it interesting? Would other people find it interesting, and not just scroll past it or click off it? It's got to make sure that it's, you know, it would retain someone attention for longer than 2 seconds. Like they glance at it, go away, or as long as they, they look at it and they actually take into accountability what you're saying on the advert.
Oh, great. So, in contrast to that, what do you think is the most annoying advert you've ever seen?
Oh God, I have no idea. Honestly, I think the most irritating ones is when it's just really loud. Like I've seen adverts where I'm just sitting watching YouTube or something, and it's just really loud and in your face, and you just don't want to say it. You just want to click off it straight away, because it just comes out of nowhere when you're watching something. And honestly, it scares you. So it's quite annoying when that happens. But say like it was just a regular normal advert talking about something and highlighting its key points and getting straight to the point. That's probably what I'd stick around to see, just because it's interesting to see like new technology or anything. Like as long as it's not bright and in your face, it's good.
Yeah, and it's always the unskippable ones that I hate.
Yeah, even if it's like 5 seconds and you can't skip it, it's really irritating.
So annoying. Great. Thanks for talking to us about marketing. How about we talk a bit about you? So I think that you like Star Wars. Is that right?
That is, saying I like it is definitely a way of describing it. I'd say I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to Star Wars, because I've been watching it. Like I'm 16 years old, so obviously it's been around a lot longer than me, and I've been watching it since since I was born, practically, because my dad enjoys it. So I've certainly grown up on it, and it's really good. I'm not sure. Martha, are you interested in Star Wars? Like, is anything like that interests you, like sci-fi?
Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I've watched the films. I watched the new ones when they came out, but that's about it really. It's a good story. I like it. But yeah. No, I don't watch many films anymore. I don't know why. I used to go see them in the cinema, but since the pandemic,
Mm.
I don't go to the cinema much anymore. It's a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah, I can't say I've been to the cinema, I think, once since the pandemic has hit. It's the only time I've been.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I normally wait for them to just come on streaming and watch them at home.
What you say you don't watch any movies. Do you watch TV shows or anything like that? Anything interesting?
I tend to watch a couple of TV shows on repeat. Um, so normally it's comedies, things that make me laugh and just a bit cheerful. Um, I-
Yeah.
yeah, I spend most of my time reading. So yeah, I don't watch much TV. Um, I've watched the big things. I binge watched Stranger Things as soon as it came out and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna ask you something else, but I can't remember what it was. Um, yes, it was going back to the apprenticeship thing. Um,
Mm.
would you recommend an apprenticeship? Obviously, people your age, maybe they go to start thinking about university or apprenticeships. What would you say about that?
I'd honestly say it depends on the person. Like going to college and everything, obviously it's great, and you get a lot more education, and like I'd say you can progress further in college and in university and stuff like that, and get better degrees. But digital marketing, if you're not bothered about progressing that much and in going out and getting like master's degrees and everything, and you just want, to get into the line of work that you want to get into, I'd say did like not digital marketing, just an apprenticeship it's great, honestly. For just getting into the work, getting used to it, getting used to working with people. It certainly, it's made me a lot more confident working, because before I wouldn't even like speak to someone that I didn't know, but I speak to loads of people I don't know on a daily basis. I'm on the radio right now, which is something I wouldn't think I'd ever be on. And it certainly, it's helpful in many different aspects. And it it's just great for educating you what work life will be like, and how working is, and what goes into working. And you get paid as well on top of it, which is great.
What do you think the most challenging thing is about working as an apprentice?
Um, I'd say it's probably just due to, me fresh out of school, and I haven't really got used to it. It's like sometimes the responsibility, like in getting stuff done, and in working for a long amount of time, and not getting the holidays that everyone's getting. It's like it's not more. It makes the apprenticeship a struggle. It's like sometimes it makes social life, because all my friends are in college, or still in sixth form, so they get all the holidays and everything, and then I'll be still at work. But obviously it's a lot more important than going out for like 2 seconds with some people. So yeah, that's probably the only downside, is really not if you've got many friends that are still in school or anything, they don't have jobs, and they're out about. That's probably the only downside to it, just because you can't go out and about.
Yeah, but they'll catch up. They'll all have jobs sooner or later.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. That they'll be counting the days until they have a holiday next, when they've got a job, when they're rubbing it in that they're off.
Yeah. Yeah. Holidays never quite the same after school finishes, really.
No.
But yeah. Um, great. So since Jaff is not here, I still feel we need to talk about football. Do you
Oh
know
God.
anything about football? Because I don't.
Um, this is really embarrassing, because my dad's a massive football fan, and I have nothing on football. I know that Newcastle is going to Wembley, because they're playing in the finals of some cup or something like that. I'm not sure who they're playing or what they're playing for, but I know they're going to Wembley.
I think, and like I said, my very limited football knowledge, I think it's something like the Carabao Cup, and they're playing Man United. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a tough game, but hopefully they'll win. It'll be
Hopefully,
exciting.
yeah.
I
Yeah, it's I don't really follow football that much, but I've got to say, when I hear Newcastle win something, or they're doing well, it's nice to hear, because it's very rare. I
Yeah,
haven't heard in any years that Newcastle's doing well in any football thing. So hearing them going into a final for something, I may not follow football, but it's definitely nice news, new news.
yeah, definitely. It makes a change from all the sort of grim news that was normally on. Although I did see an article online about a man up here who had his tickets for Wembley. They were delivered through the post box, and then his puppy got at them before he could.
Oh,
So the
that's
puppy ate the
horrible.
tickets. I think that Newcastle United, he contacted them and they sorted it out for him. So he isn't going to have to miss anything, but still, can you just imagine?
I've got a dog, and that's happened many times. Post come through. I can't say it's as important as Wembley tickets, but there's times where I've went downstairs and it's just ripped up post all over, and
What's the
it's just
worst
not a
thing
nice sight.
that's been destroyed?
Um, Honestly, I'd I can't remember what it was. I think I'd ordered a new card from my bank, and I had downstairs, and it just had tons of bite marks in
Oh, that's pretty bad.
it. So I had to get back in contact with them, say, can I have a new card? And they were questioning like, "Oh, would you send you a new one?" And then I had to say that my dog had ate my card. It's almost like the excuse for my dog ate my homework. It sort of just sounds like you've just either just destroyed it yourself or just lost it or something like
Yeah.
that. It sounds like a terrible excuse. But then I sent a picture with a card with loads of bite marks in it. So they're like, "All right, okay, we'll send one out."
Yeah, that's a pretty bad one. Although at least it's quite easy to fix.
Yeah, it's not as bad as something like that or like an important bit of information that's being ripped up.
Definitely. Is that all we know about football then? That's it.
Um, Pretty much. I mean, at the last I went to a football match not that long ago.
Oh, which one?
The Newcastle women's football match. I'm not sure who they were playing. Um,
Did they win?
yes, they did. I think it was 3-1, maybe.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was really good. I wasn't expecting it, honestly. I wasn't. It was There was loads of people there, and everyone was very passionate about it. There was a lot of screaming, a lot of chanting. It was it, it was really good, to be honest, and they played really well.
Yeah, I've always heard that the atmosphere at a live football game is, you know, really makes it, because I think it's don't know if I should say this, but I think watching it on TV is a little bit boring. But
Oh yeah, it is.
but I can see how maybe going live makes it all the more exciting.
Oh, I'd when I went to see it, I was chanting and I was screaming, "Get in!" when they were scoring goals, which is I didn't think I'd ever see myself doing that. If I was to be honest, I was waving the flags that they have.
Yeah.
I was waving one of those, which is something I never thought I'd ever do in my entire life because I've never done anything to do with football. But I was there and it was good.
Yeah, exciting. Well, maybe I'll have to get some live tickets one day. Um, we'll see. That would be fun. Okay. Why don't we're talking about next Adventure Builder, which I think is something that you've been working on promoting quite a lot. So why don't you start with what you know about it, and then I'll add on. We'll see if we can get any more recruits.
Hopefully. As far as I know, the Adventure Builder is it's a program that helps you. I don't know if I'm going to struggle to say this word. It's internationalization, isn't it?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. And it's sort of expanding your networking, internationalizing your business by going, I don't know, like going across seas and just expanding out where your business is. That's as much as I know about it.
Yeah, that's great. So it's a 2-day residential workshop for Tees Valley businesses who want to start expanding internationally. And it's happening in the middle of March, and there's only 2 places left. Oh, there's Dan, who might also have something to say about it. So if you are interested and you're in the Tees Valley, get in touch with us, Tees Valley Business Hub, and we'll see if we can sign you up. But it will help you sort of innovate your business model, get it ready to trade abroad. We get some special guests in to talk about that, and share their experiences of trading abroad, talk about the regulation and legislation from all of that. So it'll be a really good 2 days, and then we'll have the extra support after that as well. Yep, so that's Adventure Builder. Is that more than you knew, Bailey?
I knew the details about it, but yeah, I never really knew everything about it. I just sort of promoted it and took the information and sent it out. But yeah, it's refreshing hearing that. I haven't heard or seen anything that much about it except from what I've been promoting out, which is mainly how it helps and
Yeah.
like the dates and everything.
Yeah, we'll probably should have given you that a bit earlier so you could put some more information in. But I'm
Yeah.
sort of still developing the timetable for the couple of days. So hopefully we'll add some more stuff in. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Martha Bailey, good morning.
Morning, Dan.
Good morning,
Thanks
Dan.
for joining.
No worries.
Yeah.
I was just going to sort of add a bit more meat on the bones about Adventure Builder
Yeah.
down in Tees Valley. So, I mean, effectively, I've been trying to speak to various businesses over the past sort of week or so. We held a launch event at Teesside International Airport, fantastic airport, by the way, about 3 weeks ago. And it was really well attended. We had an amazing speaker there. We had Nagma from Prima Cheese. She's the CEO of Prima. And she gave a really nice talk around her experience with internationalization and taking their brand abroad. And I think they've probably got to the point now where I think 20 to 30% of their overall sales are coming from an international channel, if you like, or another market outside of the UK. So from a business growth perspective, it's a really important thing to look at, just simply because of the scale of growth that you can achieve by getting involved in another market is it can be astronomical. And I think they started their journey quite some time ago, but it's now I'm not going to say it's a copy and paste job, because it's not, because each market's got its own nuances, but actually the rate of growth can be a lot, and I mean a lot more staggering than just focusing on one market, the home market. So they're enjoying really good growth. There was Amanda Rowan there from the Department of International Trade, who are supporting this program, and she's got a lot of really good contacts. She's got a lot of really great experience. She's opened the door for so many Tees Valley based businesses, in particular in the sort of petrochemical type environment, to export their goods. Some of them are just so busy. I mean, one or two of them that actually want to come on this program have just been too busy to speak to, because of the growth that they're seeing. But we are looking at ways of getting in touch with them to get them on board. So the long and short of it really is that Adventure Builder is more about how you might need to innovate your current offer in the UK to work outside of the UK. And it's maybe also a little bit, as much as looking outwardly, thinking about things coming back in as well. So international business is a two-way street, and you can get some really good advice, some coaching, and really good key learnings from highly respected industry experts that are going to be coaching and mentoring on this program. We've kept the places purposefully really low to 12 businesses for this cohort, just simply because of the level of quality involved in the delivery, and also the aftercare and wraparound support that we're going to be giving from one-to-one sessions, focusing on specific issues that certain businesses find as a challenge, because it's not a one-size-fits-all. The program will also go into a lot of detail about developing your mindset and your skill set in order to succeed globally. You'll be able to look at ways in which you want to test and modify your offer, de-risk things and validate everything before you enter into a new market, and also just how to unlock different market intelligence and insights and research that will help you fuel innovation. Excuse me. So I think it's a great program. It kicks off on the 14th and 15th of March, and it's really well attended so far. We've got a VIP dinner on an evening. We've got a 2-day residential at a hotel. All accommodation, everything's covered, and it's a really great place to unwind, as well as enjoy a stacked couple of days experience learning about how to succeed internationally. And I think, you know, we're going to get some great results here for the region, with businesses attending this. So far, we've got companies across the region. We've got engineering companies, we've got air conditioning companies, we've got companies that make modular buildings, we've got companies that are involved in music tuition, we've got people who are involved in education, and also people who are involved in things like AI and in animation as well. So it's going to be really great from a peer group perspective. A lot of different sectors involved.
It's good to see all the different technologies and everything emerging out of Teesside. Like, I think there's been significant investment there, and this is just one part of that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic in terms of the you know, I mean, there's a big thing in Teesside, right, about when you look at the digital sort of transformation landscape. It's a real hub and hotspot for that type of skill set and knowledge base. And what I've found, you know, sort of whilst, you know, talking to companies, is there's a lot of service sector companies there, and the surprising thing is that when people are working in services, they don't necessarily always think about the international or export model, because they always think, oh, I haven't got a product, you know, I haven't got,
Yeah,
you know, a gadget, a widget or whatever to kind of like export. And actually services is a massive export from the UK into other countries, particularly in things like technology and digital and that space, but also finance. There's also things around law and sort of consultancy that is you know, sort of we're really good at in the UK, and that we're sort of able to sort of you know, place in other markets. And sometimes people also think, well, actually my business model is set up to cater for the local region, and that's what I do, and that's what I'll always do. And actually, they perhaps don't recognize or even think about the fact that there might be a chance for them to look at distributing their idea, creating a subsidiary for their idea, franchising their idea. You know, there's a whole host of different ways in which you can expand your business model. And I think that's really the, you know, the sort of the thing it's I think it's underlying everything that we do at the SME Centre of Excellence and with the brands that we work on. But it's the innovation section that's really important. And I think, you know, people will go to that day and they'll have their mind blown with the opportunities that are out there. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be really good. I mean, every thing like that we do, the residentials especially, people leave like saying that they've considered things that they'd never even realized they could do, and had their mind open to new ways of thinking about their business that just completely changed how they potentially will operate, what their goals are. So it really can be quite transformational.
Yeah. I was just going to plug for a second, Martha, if I can just potentially, you know, share my screen and just really kind of look at this one either. So I was looking at, if I just bear with me, I just look at this screen share for a second. It's not that one. Sorry.
Do you know how you're talking about the residential and in setting it up and everything?
Yeah.
There's a lot of work going on that. And say, obviously I'm not in this situation, but say I was one of the people registered and I had a child or something and no one could look after them, would I have to sort of find a way, or could I just come back the day after, like the next day instead of staying over?
Yeah, you wouldn't have to stay the night. The staying the night is a bit of a perk, but if you're willing to travel and you've got to go back home, that's not really you know, it's the teaching in the days that's the main important
Yeah.
part. Although
The only thing I'd say on that point, Martha, and you know, it is true, you're not obliged to do that, but the VIP dinner and sometimes the
Yeah.
peer group stuff is where the sparks fly, and that's where, you know, you perhaps have the conversation in the corridor or whatever with somebody that begins something, you know, rather than, you know, sitting there having things bombarded, you know, kind of flashed in front of you. That actually the interactive bit and kind of like just, you know, in a relaxed environment is sometimes really good to do. But yeah,
That is
not
true.
obliged to stay, but very welcome to, and you know, be happy to see everybody there. So I'm actually trying to plug something that I've got on a screen share. It's on a website, and it's basically through Newcastle, the Newcastle University, that we're actually kind of like helping to promote and talk at, with the help of Amar. And if I just kind of share my screen now, can you see my screen?
Yes. And
Yeah.
it says Newcastle University.
Yeah. And so this is something that we're plugging, which is you know, embracing identity for equity. So it's a talk and an afternoon. It's a celebration of International Women's Day, and it's on the 1st of March 2023 between 1:30 and 5. And as you can see, there's a really good sort of agenda. If I just pop down here, so the agenda's down here, but basically what it is, it's a free talk, panel discussion with Q&A. So it starts at 1:30. There's a reception, there's an introduction. There's a talk here by Dr. Nicola Patterson, and also with some other people involved in that. There's a grassroots policy. There's a keynote talk, and there's a panel discussion. And I think Amar is taking part in the panel discussion between 3:45 and 4:15, and then there's a Q&A session afterwards. It's just about upon us, and you can get involved and drop down and you know, sort of network and speak to people about this really important I guess celebration of identity and equality that's taking place. And it's fantastic that Newcastle University is actually hosting this and pushing it.
So how did you sign up for it?
Well, you just pop onto the website. So if you go onto the Newcastle Uni website, you will see a link for it. And then there's just a really simple form that you fill in on the page for the event. So if you just go and look at where their events is, and then you basically click through to this event on the 1st of March, and then you'll see where you can sign up and just drop down there and, you know, get involved and embrace equity and do your bit to, you know, sort of promote things and understand the cause. It's a great cause. So we're certainly very behind it from an ABC perspective.
Great. That sounds interesting. I think I'll be at the accelerator that day, so I won't be able to go, but
yeah. I think I'll pop down and see if I can sort of speak to people. So yeah, we I guess we need to talk a little bit about the upcoming Curry Club, Martha. If
yes,
you can just like sort of, I mean, you can kind of look at the details over my shoulder if you haven't got them available, but what's happening with Curry Club this?
So Curry Club in March. We haven't got one in February because it's quite short and month and half term, but we're having one in March, and we're holding it at the 101 Regiment Base at Kingston Park. So if you don't know where that is, it's sort of down past, is it Home Bargains? Home Bargains or B&M, whichever one it is there, just down there. So it's going to be a really interesting space to hold it. And there'll obviously be people from the 101 Regiment there. So if you're interested in the reserves, in the Armed Forces Covenant, which you will have an opportunity to sign and learn more about, come along. It's free. You can sign up through the link on our website, I hope. And you just need to register, sign up on Eventbrite, and then turn up. We'll have lots of lovely curry, opportunities to network. We've got quite a few people coming already. Obviously still got a month to go. But yeah, we hope to see everyone there. Really, really looking forward to this one, actually.
Yeah.
I know I've been to the Kingston Park before, and they sometimes have like their tanks and their guns around to have a look at. Obviously you can't fire them, but it's really interesting to have a look, climb into a tank's little cockpit area. Yeah, it's definitely a different place to hold a business networking event. Not a boring.
Are you going, Bailey? Bailey, you gonna head down there?
Yeah, we'll do. It's just a matter of getting there, really, for me.
Well, I think there'll be people going from here, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. I really like going to the curry clubs. They're very, very interesting to hear from lots of different people, and yeah, about the businesses and everything. And the food is really nice. I can back you up on that one.
Yes,
I'd just like seeing
definitely.
Amar in his uniform.
Yes. Yes, he will be in his uniform if we're there.
So the other thing, I think, Martha, just on the other side of me here is this thing that we've got coming up in October, which is a little thing that
Just a little thing.
just a little thing that we need to talk about.
Yes, our ABC Awards dinner 2023. Yeah, get your nominations in. If you know someone, I'm trying to remember what the nomination categories are. Individual nominees, business nominees, professional. There are more than that. Trying to get the list up.
Third sector, public sector,
that's it. Yes.
private sector. Yeah, there's about 8 or 9 awards. There's the Lifetime Achievement Award, which has had some fantastic winners in the past as well.
People's Choice Award, which is organised by Spice FM and voted for on Spice FM. So yeah, get your nominations in. They're on the website. If you go to the ABC Awards dinner page and then nominations, put in who you're nominating and why you're nominating them. And then we will gather the nominations and shortlist them and get ready for the awards. We want as many people as possible to be recognised. So if you're unsure whether they deserve an award, submit them anyway. We'll find out.
So I mean, it's a fantastic award ceremony and dinner, and I mean, I've been fortunate enough to only have attended. Well, I've only ever attended one, but I've been fortunate to go to the last one, which I was told by several people was the best one yet. And it was a really great night, and it was really well attended. Our host of the evening was Tommy Sandu, and he was fantastic, really funny.
Yeah.
There was some great music, some great singing, some really good, some good dancing. All really, really great to see in terms of the people that were entertaining that evening was fantastic, and the food, like you say, was phenomenal as well. I think this year, I've got an inkling from the first sort of discussions that I've had with and people who are sort of wanting to support us that it's going to be even better and bigger this year. There's a sponsorship opportunity there for businesses that would like to be sort of involved with ABC. Obviously it's a not-for-profit organization, but to actually run the awards does take a significant amount of money to run them and to demonstrate our support and commitment towards inclusion and inclusivity. And it's a great opportunity for businesses or organizations. It doesn't have to be a commercial organization, a commercial business. It could be we do have a really good sponsor in Northumbria University so far who's on the books, which is fantastic. So there's a sponsor pack available on the website, really easy to get hold of. if you got any questions, just drop us a line or give us a call, and we'll be happy to run you through things. But just if you're looking to find us, obviously pop onto the ABC website. That's abconnections.org, and just get in touch. Happy to talk. Happy to speak to anybody who's wanting to get involved with the organisation.
Yes. And if you just want to purchase tickets as well, do let us know.
Or tables.
Yes, both. Anything to say, just get in touch with us. Happy to help.
I was just going to go back to your football conversation briefly, Martha.
Yes, you know a bit more than me and Bailey, apparently.
Well, it is a big weekend for Newcastle. You know, it's well, I'm told it's now 24 years, I think, since we were even in a cup final.
That long?
Yeah, I think it was 99. And then I'm told it was like, you know, even longer since we actually won a bit of silverware. I think it's like something like 55 years or something like that. So, you know, it's been a, you know, if you're a Newcastle fan, you know that it's been tough over the years, but there's been some really kind of boom years and some really lower sort of, you know, hard to bear years as well. But it feels like this was like, you know, really kind of like deserving of the team, the way that Eddie Howe's been managing the team, and the performances that they've been putting in. However, lately, and with the defeat that we suffered last weekend to Liverpool, we had our goalkeeper. I don't know if you know, but we had our goalkeeper, Nick Pope, who's the sort of England goalkeeper. He got a red card.
So does that mean he can't play?
It means he can't play, and it, in my opinion, it was fairly accidentally. I don't think there was any intent, you know, and it's quite a cruel law that when a keeper's sort of handling the ball outside of the area, he gets a red card. He tried to header the ball away when a player was attacking and sort of fluffed it, missed it, and the ball ended up in his sort of, you know, he cradled the ball on the floor sort of thing. And he was sent off straight away for it. So we had to play quite a bit of that match. I think it was, you know, sort of 2/3 of that match with the second choice keeper, who's Martin Dubravka, and he is also unavailable now for this competition and for this cup tie on a Sunday. So now we're down to like the third and fourth keepers, which isn't a great place to be in. You know, when you kind of, I mean, I'm sure that they're great keepers, and I'm sure that they're really fit and they're really ready for the game and things like that. But actually, you know, it's kind of I think psychologically more than anything, the whole team and the manager, you know, must be feeling a certain way about things. I think we've had, you know, little knocks and bumps and injuries, and Bruno Guimaraes, who was, you know, has been an amazing sort of midfielder for us this season. He was suspended for 3 games prior to this cup, and so he's, you know, potentially not had that proper sort of game time, if you like, against serious opposition. I mean, obviously he will have been training very hard, and we've got him back for this game, which is fantastic, because he's you know, he does make a real difference to us. But I think there's a, you know, sort of a really tough day ahead of us on Sunday. I think it's going to be extremely difficult against such a hard opponent like Manchester United. And again, it's not at home. And even though we're going to have about 35,000 supporters there, it's not like St. James's can be, where, you know, that's almost like everybody's sort of been in the vicinity of St. James's and heard the roar of the crowd. And Sometimes it acts like the sort of 12th man on the pitch kind of thing, you know, and giving you that point of difference and that support. So we are where we are. I think they'll be doing everything they can do to try to bring back this bit of silverware for you know, the Toon basically, and to you know, sort of be really proud in terms of what they've done. So our support is with them. But yeah, it's a big weekend of football, Martha.
Yes.
And lots of people traveling down.
Are you going to watch it?
I will be watching it on the TV. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a ticket. My son is going down there, but he also doesn't have a ticket, but he's going for the atmosphere.
Okay.
Which, you know,
I
is
assume
fine.
they'll be showing it on screens outside or in pubs around there or something.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I mean, I think there's even a few areas in Newcastle where they're doing the same sort of thing. So
Yeah.
if you Google that, you should be able to find out where to go if you want to go down and show some support. But yeah, big weekend, and looking forward to it. Hope that we feel happy on Sunday night.
Yes. Be a bit disappointing, but like I said, I don't know much about football, but Manchester United, they're not the sort of undefeatable force they were 10 years ago-ish. Am I right?
I mean, I would say they. I mean, I've got it in my mind that last cup final we were in, it was with Man United, but I have to Google that and check out the facts. But they were big in the 90s, Man U, right? And then they sort of had a bit of success in the 2000s, but really since Alex Ferguson left the team and you know, sort of probably, you know, sort of, I think it was probably about, 10 years ago, something like that, a bit more. It hasn't been the same team, but they've rebuilt a bit. They've got Marcus Rashford, who you've probably heard about as a player, who was incredibly dynamic. He had a couple of off seasons. Head wasn't in the right place, but he's back on form now and he's scoring quite a lot of goals. And they've got a decent set of international and homegrown talent. So I think it's just going to be. I'm hoping it's just going to be one of those really entertaining end-to-end games, and just the fact that Newcastle edges it in the end.
Yep.
Hopefully. Yes.
Will your dad be watching it, Bailey?
I think my dad will be, probably. Yeah, he's a big Newcastle supporter and sort of a bit frustrated for the past few years how they've been going and how they've been playing, but now that they're coming back and they're doing this, he's a bit more supportive of them. And I definitely think he'll be watching it, and if they don't win, I think he might be a bit upset over the fact. But it's certainly, it's the furthest I've seen them come in quite a while, and I don't really watch football that much, and it's a big deal. Even though I don't support football or anything or watch anything, it's nice to know that we're actually doing good and Newcastle's cut through.
So that's Carabao Cup. It's Sunday. I think it's 4:30 kickoff. So yeah, look forward to it.
Sick of the same old radio sound.
Yeah. So we'll see you soon, guys.
Then you need
Yeah.
Vibrant Radio. Spice up your life. Spice